Can a book written in 2010 teach you anything about social media today? It can if it's written by Gary Vaynerchuk. In today's video, we'll review the timeless lessons from his bestseller, Crush It! Lesson number 1. Passion is everything. This whole book is basically a 3-hour motivational speech on why you should start doing what you truly love, build your own brand, and make money doing it. A nice utopia, you might say. But is it a reality? In the book, Gary mentions a timeless principle that can teach us many lessons. Money follows eyeballs, he says. So, in this brave new world of social media, the main thing you need to do to earn a living is to get people's attention. What does it have to do with passion, you ask? Quite literally, everything. Because passion gives you an ability to do hard work, learn tirelessly until you build expertise, and do it all with excitement. Aren't these the same things that make content great? So do what you love. It's powerful. Chances are, your passion will make you successful. Of course, it doesn't automatically mean you're going to be extraordinary success or the next Gary Vaynerchuk just because you love something. You need to deliver content well too. And let's admit it, some people are more talented on camera than others. But either way, even if you won't be extraordinary, at least you can make a living doing what you love. Lesson number 2. It's never a bad time to create a great business. Yes, this book was written when the world and the internet looked pretty different than it is today. Does it mean it's no longer a good time to start a personal brand or go all in on your passion? Nope. So many people procrastinate doing what they love with bullshit arguments like the competition is too big, it was so easy to go viral a few years back, the algorithm hates small creators, and so on. The truth is, if your idea is good, if your content is valuable, and if there's a target market for what you're selling, it's never a bad time to build a great business. In Gary's words, quality is a ridiculous filter. So don't worry about competition or the algorithm. Know your stuff better than anyone, create a product better than anything else out there, create a huge library of valuable content, and people will come. Lesson number 3. Outwork others or be outworked by them. There's good news and bad news. Good news is that even if there are people more talented than you can win simply by putting in more effort. Creating more content, investing more time researching your niche, showing up more consistently. Bad news, according to Gary, you shouldn't lie to yourself that having your own business, you'll be able to work less. You cannot stop learning, tweaking, adapting, and building. If you stop, you can be outworked even by those with less talent or passion. Working for yourself is hard work. Do I agree with the author on this? I'm not sure yet. I'm still just at the beginning of my journey. Would I grow faster if I published 3 times a week on my channel? For sure. Not because it's some sort of hack to trick the current algorithm. It's a timeless truth that was true in 2010 and it's still true today. The more you publish, the more you learn and improve. So your content becomes better, audience loves it more, and audience love always translates into algorithm love. So yes, you can always do more or better. Yet, I still have optimistic hopes to build this channel without missing the childhood of my newborn. Because it will always be more important for me, no matter how much I love YouTube or the act of making videos. That's why I'm on this mission of finding some wisdom in these books or in other YouTubers' journeys that would help you and me grow our channels without completely sacrificing our lives. Lesson number 4. Become part of the conversation. There are 2 ways to look at this tip. You can either view it as a hack to insert yourself into other channels' comments, and I think most people who read the book are doing exactly that, or you can genuinely become a part of the conversation. I think Gary would want you to choose the latter. A big part of the book is dedicated to the topics of being real, of truly caring, and being yourself. But of course, some people read his advice and did the opposite. They started setting up bots that commented on others' channels' videos, trying to lead viewers back to their own channel. Does it work as a strategy? Sometimes. But people are not dumb. They get tired of generic comments, of self-promotion, and it certainly does no good to your reputation or your channel long term. The better alternative? Actually becoming part of the bigger conversation. You can dedicate time interacting with the wider community, genuinely commenting on others' content when you have something interesting to say. Yes, many people will read your comment and will continue with their lives. Or they might want to check you out, wanting to get to know you or your background. Either way, I wouldn't recommend running away with this hack and simply setting yourself a quota of how many comments you need to leave on others' videos each day. This will quickly become a chore you dread, and you'll want to get it over with as soon as possible. Instead, just look at this as an adventure. Explore your niche. Use this time to get inspired, learn from others, and if you have something you want to add to the conversation, simply don't hold yourself back. Lesson number 5. Don't sit on information. What was true in 2010 and even more true today? Everything is moving super fast. There's about 500 hours of video uploaded to YouTube every minute. A constant flow of new content. A constant flow of information. In this context, you cannot win by trying to hold on to some information. You shouldn't hoard information hoping to use it someday when writing your book or creating some sort of paid product. The information won't last till someday. If you look at Gary's own career, you can also notice he's basically a researcher. First, of wines when he started Wine Library TV reviewing wines. Now he's in the same information business, but he's now an expert on social media. Either way, he made his career by researching stuff and then telling viewers about it. This is how I look at all educational content creators on YouTube. We're basically researchers. The more information we collect, the better we learn to share it, the more our channels will grow. Lesson number 6, or how Gary calls it, the single best marketing strategy: care. Building a brand is a long-term game. You cannot hack your way to the top. People need time to trust you, like you, and genuinely care about what you create. And for that to happen, they need to see that you care first. When you truly care, you naturally do things just a little bit better. You learn about your audience and what they actually need. You research your content more deeply. You structure and phrase your ideas more clearly so people can understand them. You connect with your community through your content and in the comments. Basically, you show that you're trying to serve your audience and not just get views from them. And over time, that trust compounds. And honestly, I think this is the part most creators underestimate. They look at successful creators and think the algorithm favors them. But usually, the algorithm is simply reacting to audience behavior. People engage more with creators who genuinely care about what they do. Gary also warns creators not to obsess over monetization too early. Because the moment money becomes the main focus, your mindset can shift from how do I help people to how do I make people buy from me? And audiences absolutely feel that shift. At the beginning especially, your focus should be on building trust and community first. Because without that relationship, things rarely click long term. So, is it worth reading the full book? And what can you really get from it knowing it was written back in 2010? First of all, you'll get a huge dose of inspiration to actually start taking action. Whether that means finally building your personal brand or simply doing more if you're already on your way. The book also includes a lot more advice on growing through social media. And yes, the biggest chapter, the one about choosing your platform, is definitely the most outdated part of the book. But there are still many timeless lessons on choosing the right medium for yourself and understanding what steps you need to take to start your journey properly. Now, would I recommend the audiobook or physical version? And this is coming from someone who already loves audiobooks. But in this case, I genuinely think the audio version is objectively the better choice. First, because it was updated later, but more importantly, because Gary recorded it himself. And considering he's basically a motivational speaker on the topic of social media, hearing him explain these ideas with all his energy honestly adds a lot to the experience. Even if you don't fully agree with his style, it's hard not to feel inspired after listening to it. So, who would benefit the most from this book? Honestly, anyone who has ever considered building a personal brand online and needs that final push to start. If you want me to cover the most important lessons from Gary's follow-up book, Crushing It, like this video so I know to make it next. If you enjoy these book reviews, I have more of them on my channel. See you in the next one, and keep striving forward.